Hello, my name is Milton Rotz. We're here at Cedar Pine Farms in Franklin County, Pennsylvania. We milk on 3 different sites. We're milking well over 1,000 cows. We crop a little over 1,000 acres. My grandfather moved over here in the 40s, started this farm, and then my father took over from him in the 90s, I think, and then I assumed it in 2010. At that time, we were only about 200 cows milking, and in the past 12 years, we've grown it to what it currently is today. And myself, my wife, and I have 3 children. My father's still active. He's kind of taken a retirement role, but he's out every day checking up on us and seeing what he can do to help out. One of the reasons I've grew to the size I am is when I grew up, I did it all. I milked, I fed, took care of the calves, and you went to the field. And to ask people to do that much in a day, you know, you're talking 15-hour days. So I decided early on, like, hey, I want to get to a size where I can have a guy that feeds, someone that just feeds calves, people that just milk, and then everybody gets vacation, everybody takes breaks, and it's not as much of a stress on all the other employees, you know, when somebody does take a day off, because we have people that can kind of cover their spots. So we milk 3 times a day. They're in the parlor no more than like 10 minutes. So that gives them adequate time to come back, eat, rest, and obviously get plenty of water. We push up feed usually every hour to 2 hours. At my home site here, we actually invested in a Dito valve feed pusher to operate at night, so we didn't have to worry about someone pushing feed up or keeping track when there's no one around. So what we do at actually all 3 of our facilities is we bed stalls 3 times a week, and each facility is unique because my one facility is deep bed sand. This facility is mattresses with lime on top and some deep bed sand, and my 3rd site is mattresses with sawdust on. And like I said, we bed the stalls 3 times a week, and we always make sure there's adequate depth of bedding, and if it's the mattresses, we always make sure there's some sort of cover on top of the mattresses. When our calves are first born, within the first hour to 2 hours, we try to make sure they get at least a gallon of colostrum. Colostrum is the milk collected from the cow in the first 12 to 24 hours of her calving. It has all the, what you want to call goodies in for the newborn calf, just to make sure that newborn calf gets all the nutrients it needs and antibodies in that first 12 to 24 hours. We also will dip their navels with iodine and give them a pill called First Defense. Immediately they get moved to a freshly bedded pen, and then within that day they will get moved to their own individual hutch. They'll also be fed colostrum again within 8 to 12 hours of the first feeding, and then from that point on they're on pasteurized milk. So my favorite dairy product is homemade ice cream. In the summertime, probably every 3 to 4 weeks, we'll make homemade ice cream. I mean, it's something to look forward to. So the biggest reason I said yes to the Calving Corner was I think it's a good tool for the public to understand what we're doing. I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there about what we're attempting to do or what we are doing on a daily basis. Nobody cares for these cows more than we do. We want them to be as comfortable as possible. A lot of times, these cows are more comfortable than we are. That's the biggest reason I agreed to do the Calving Corners, because I wanted to help the public's perception of what we're trying to do. So what made me want to be a dairy farmer? Well, I'm an only child, so in the beginning I would have said there was nobody else there to do it. But the longer it went, you know, there's just something that you can't put a price on. Of you go down and you deliver a newborn calf, or you go out and you plant the corn, and I mean the corn sprouts, and all of a sudden you've got this plant that you're combining or chopping or whatever. There's so much that in farming that it touches on different jobs. You know, we're mechanics, we're vets, we're electrical engineering. It's Saturday night, there's nobody on call, and you got to get things moving. So it's just that constant journey that's kind of what kept me here. And I don't know, some of it is, I felt like this is where God wanted me, so this is where I'm at.